And we were there sitting, doing our stuff, I think still getting things in order, because of luggage and stuff. And then
it's funny because then we like hear this noise about like on the lock, and then like it started to force in the locker. Like, what the hell? What's going on?
And we were like, someone's trying to break in?
Yeah.
What
You're like, okay. Yeah.
And then I do remember I looked at the door, and they were going really hard on the lock, like bum, 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 as if they tried to make something fit into that.
Yeah.
And then I went to open the door. I was like, what the? And then when I opened the door, there was a lady and a guy that I had never seen them before in my life. And they were there looking at me with eyes this big. I was like, yes. And
yeah. And it was so funny because like the lady was actually a real estate agent, and she was doing a showing, like a visiting the apartment for this guy. Like the apartment was actually still on the market.
Long story short, she managed to break the key inside the lock. Then came another learning from Spain, because we called the agency and said, hey, someone just came here and screwed up the lock, right? And she said, oh yeah, okay, so you can call someone to have it fixed and then send us the bill. I don't know anyone here, I don't know who to call, it's not on me, it's on you, right?
Or at least help us to find someone, like we are new here, we don't know anything,
right.
Anyone.
And then it was a little bit of back and forth, and then they said, oh, okay, we're sending you someone
tomorrow.
So there was, I don't remember that day when we saw that graffiti on the wall. The graffiti said, mañana estamos en España, meaning something like tomorrow we are in Spain.
Yeah, like don't expect things to happen fast or, like rush. It's just like, okay, I'll take my time and tomorrow we'll see about it.
So we had no lock in our apartment.
Yeah.
She went to her class. I decided to stay because like good Brazilians, we were like, no, I'm not leaving my belongings behind. Then she came back home. At some point you have to sleep, right? And now what? Who's sleeping in the couch today just to try to keep an eye on the door, you know?
Yeah, it was funny. And then eventually, like the next day, the guy didn't show up.
No.
So we had like another night like that. So he missed he missed the first day of class, and I had to miss one day because again, we didn't want to leave our stuff, like just for anyone to just come and grab stuff. So
yeah.
And then the following day, the guy came and fixed everything. Everything was fine. And obviously he charged us. And
we said, no, actually you go to this address here and charge those ladies. Yeah. They are the ones that from the rental office. The guy showed up on the second day, but not before 10:30 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Nothing happens until 10:30.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember when I said to double check if like have no outstanding balances in your natural gas, electricity or water bill?
There's a very good reason why you have to double check those things. Fasting forward to a couple of months again, and then we had a problem with the gas, the boiler. So we had like a leak or something?
Yeah, because every time we would leave the apartment and we would return, we would kind of smell a little bit of gas. Natural gas, and we were like, what? Why?
But before,
we
tried to call again our ladies from the real estate agency, and they said, oh yeah, you have to call the gas company.
Yeah, so we booked a visit, a paid visit, and then the guy came, and when he first saw that, was like, oh, there's an actual gas leak. You can no longer use that
tape it and sealed everything. Yeah.
Sealed, and we were like, wait.
Okay, so I was like, okay, so how do we how do we take a shower? How do we cook? How do we do anything here?
And the guy was like,
I don't know, I have to wait. Like, okay, wait for what? Oh yeah, for another technician to come and see the problem, assess everything, because you have to assess from the street and see everything, if it works and what's the actual problem. So then we can fix it. And this would definitely be a couple of days or weeks.
And so we called
called
the ladies again, and they said, oh, don't bother about it, just remove the seal. No, I'm not doing this. If you want to do that, you call someone to come over here and do that for you, because I'm not touching it. And by the way, until someone comes here and fixes this, we are not paying the rent. On that note, someone came in and showed up really quickly.
Yeah, that time they were fast. So they called. I think they managed to call the right people, and they came. There was nothing actually major in the end. There was nothing in the street to be fixed. It was actually on the meter.
Yeah.
So they had to just to I think it was just like some plumbing or something they had to quickly fix. They fixed very quickly.
Yeah.
And then was done. That was a quick one.
But then came the other part of this.
Oh, the bill.
One thing triggers another, right? So when a guy came,
Yeah.
he saw the numbers. That were the numbers on the meter. Long story short, we received a notice from the gas company saying that they tried to withdraw an outstanding payment from our account, and that outstanding bill was like 2,000 euros. Luckily enough, we did not have that amount of money, and so they couldn't proceed with the withdrawal. But we were like panicking, like, okay, we would be with no funds whatsoever, because that amount of money was the money for groceries and overheads. And we complained again to the real estate agency, and they said, but if they ever do that, we're gonna give you a discount on the rent.
Yeah, sure.
Sure,
How do we eat? Yeah.
And then they sent the bill, and then they got the bill, they sent that to the owner, and the owner said he would pay whenever he could. And about that visit from the technician, he said that we should be the ones paying for that visit.
Yeah.
Because we were the ones who triggered the problem, right?
Yeah, like, and I remember like at the end of the beautiful story, like we actually like, okay, fine, we'll pay for that. I think we split the bill 50-50.
Yeah, we decided to just split that.
Like, and then okay, fine, let's end with this. Again, like we mentioned before, this is something that you have to check. Sometimes it's hard to check for those things, but it's important to try to, like see like how if the utilities are paid, everything is in order, all those things are like in perfect place, because then you can avoid those kind of issues.